a season that to most stands out as different from the many, a transitional period between the bright, cheerful summers and the lonely, depressing winters, a time of change and harvest. However, fall also brings along a stretch of waiting and death. It's almost like it doesn't know where it sits in the year, giving this unsettling feeling of the unknown. Around this time, the year tends to stagnate and adapt. It's such a short interval, but contains so much in its minuscule time, having two of the biggest holidays in the Western world, and many different traditions across a variety of cultures in a multitude of countries. A tradition that I've upheld for the past few years is going back and rewatching a show that perfectly embodies and captures the feeling of the season. That being Cartoon Network's 10-part tale that is Over the Garden Wall.
Led through the mist by the milk light of moon, all that was lost is revealed. Our long bygone burdens, mere echoes of the spring. But where have we come, and where shall we end? If dreams can't come true, then why not pretend? How the gentle wind beckons through the leaves as autumn colors fall.
The ambiance of long gone Americana, rich with the sound, look, and setting of the mundane, familiar atmosphere of colonial England during the fall, breathing life into the already deep atmosphere, which can especially be seen in the animation style, and even the perfect vintage backgrounds, giving depth to the already tranquil setting of the unknown. The atmosphere is further emphasized by the stellar soundtrack, which adds to the ambiance of colonial America, going from its cheery autumn folk-like highs to its depressing dark lows. However, I would say that this adds more to the stellar story than it does of the world, a story that truly sucks you in and has you invested in the characters, even with its short runtime of only 10-11-minute episodes. As we follow the protagonist, Wirt, an angsty teen longing for his friends, families, and lovers' approval as he struggles with his self-esteem and development, and Wirt's younger brother, Greg, who is always getting into trouble and is shunned by him for interfering and disturbing him. As the brothers travel through the unknown, they build on the centuries-old legend of lost children in an ominous forest, searching for a way home. The unknown, as we come to learn, is somewhere in between, with the two seemingly being the only things out of place in this vast world, further exemplified by the variety and immensity of the places and animals. These inhabitants often urge them to stay and conclude their adventures, one of these being the woodsman, the first person that the two encounter, who warns them of the dangers of the journey ahead, including the beast, a supernatural creature that resembles a sort of Grim Reaper-esque character who haunts the woods in search of lost children that he can trick and turn into edelwood trees that the woodsman is unknowingly chopping down to have his lantern lit, keeping the soul of his daughter alive. A cruel metaphor and caution for grief, in the way that the woodsman can't move on and cope with his loss, creating a cyclical system that ultimately aids the beast and leads more children into the same fate as his daughter. This relationship evolves and reveals itself in an almost poetically sad way, with the woodsman finally coming to the truth and ending the beast for good. This theme of death creates an aura around the entire show, with symbols that accompany the two brothers on their journey, such as Pottsfield being a direct reference to a potter's field, Quincy's grave, and Beatrice, why almost everything they encounter has an equally dark and disturbing backstory. This description of the unknown has led many to believe that the brothers have found themselves in a purgatory or afterlife of sorts, which is further explained in the climax of the story and penultimate episode, where we can finally connect the pieces and learn that Wirt and Greg are actually from our time and have just found themselves in limbo and are merely dead, despite what the colonial look of the show has given us. And whose fault is it? Wirt's, too caught up in his own self-hatred and proclaimed failed love to be able to notice what and who he's affected around him, believing and telling the audience throughout the show that he is hated by his friends and unloved by his crush, Sarah. However, it couldn't be further from the truth. They all admire and adore him. He has just become blinded by his own insecurities to be able to notice. It's ultimately this fear that builds up and forces him to make decisions for the two brothers that leave them half dead and lost. These self-esteem issues also trickle down into how Wirt approaches the rest of the conflicts, tending to run away and hide from his problems. instead of facing them head on, accepting their failure, preemptively leading him to hurt the bond between him and his brother, something that Wirt is ultimately able to vanquish along with the Beast. This almost coming-of-age story of teenage self-esteem is tackled in an extremely relatable way, and does a great job at how simple yet deep the show can get at times, being able to suck you in and make you come to miss the melancholy yet cozy atmosphere that it gives. Over the Garden Wall is a testament to all things autumn, a series that down to every minute detail is perfect, even down to its short runtime invokes a cozy and familiar feeling. It invokes you with a poetically tragic fable, drawing you in with a perfect world of fall tones and setting, making connections and drawing characters that you will come to love and miss in their short screen time. A show that will be looked back on fondly for generations to come. And I personally can't wait till next fall to sit down and watch a journey of two brothers lost in eternal autumn in search of reason and a way home. Thank you, and good night.